You are charging too little for your work. How do I know? Well, I have this crystal ball. Welcome to Sales for Nice People, the daily podcast for ethical entrepreneurs who want to sell more because of their values and not despite them, and who also want to earn more for their work. I am Martin Steller. I help nice people sell more. And how would I know that you charge too little? I mean, we might have never met. I have no idea who you are, what you do, what you charge. But from experience, it is pretty safe to say that it is very likely that you severely undercharge your work. And when I say experience, I'm talking about hundreds of conversations over the years with entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, service providers, who all do a fantastic, cracking job, a stellar job at delivering real value for their buyers, and who always undercharge. And maybe it's because you think that you're not worth that much. Maybe you're trying to be competitive. Maybe you're trying to be affordable. Very bad idea. Never be affordable. Or maybe you are trying to fit in with market rates and what the market can tolerate. And all of those considerations are complete bunk. The way to think about your pricing is on the value that you create for a company. When your buyer gets your work, you go to town and deliver the best that you can. The overall value for the company, its stakeholders, the children of the owners, the employees, their children, it all is an enormous domino effect of extra value and growth and scale and revenue and profit and pensions and investments that are in some way, and sometimes very directly, related to the work that you do. Now, if you then come out and state your prices as $100 per hour because that is fair or because that is what the market can bear, then you are doing yourself a disservice. And the big problem with that, and I go into detail on this in my book, Sales for Nice People, is that it prevents you from buying the time that you need to do your best work. Because look, it's very simple. If you have a very busy business and you're always running around trying to put out fires and trying to deliver product and to try and get a new sale in, then how much time do you really have to step back and ideate, to put your feet up on the desk and spend time in what I call CEO time, where you think, where you sit and ideate, you put ideas together, you explore options, you think deeply about the best way to solve your buyer's problems and over-deliver. If you don't have that time, how are you going to end up doing the best work that you can? Your work is very valuable. You've spent years, maybe decades, getting really good at this stuff. And when you walk into a company and you start doing your work, then suddenly everything changes and gets better. Maybe you build a website that is really high conversion, and all of a sudden your buyer now finally gets a return on their investment and they can hire more people. That is growth, that is scale, that is impact, that is a massive amount of value, and you were the one who delivered that. Are you sure that you charge enough money for the work that you do? My guess, my bet is that you don't charge enough. And that means you're doing yourself a disservice. Your own stakeholders, your family, your friends, they don't get to spend as much time with you as they would want. And you're doing your clients a disservice as well. So I would invite you to consider how much your work is actually worth. And if you think that there's a certain ceiling and people just won't pay more, I would like to point you at Jony Ive, who used to do the design for Apple and who is now an independent consultant. How much do you think Jony Ive would charge? Probably not $100 an hour. Probably also not $1,000 an hour. I would imagine Jony Ive charges a hell of a lot more. Yes, you say, but I am not Jony Ive. Well, no, obviously you're not. Or maybe you are, in which case, hi, Jony, nice to talk to you. Even if you are not Jony Ive, the work that you do has massive value. There's trickle down, there's domino, there's repercussions that people experience years after you have done your work. And all you do is take home $100 an hour or $200 an hour. That's as much as your work is worth? No, your work is worth a hell of a lot more. Raise your prices. And yes, if you double your prices, you're probably going to lose a bunch of clients. And that is good news, because now you get to make the same amount of money for less work, and you have more time to think and sit and ideate and collide ideas together and do a better job for the people who pay you. You deserve it. They deserve it. It's time to raise your prices. And if you want a daily article in your inbox with ideas like these, go to martinsteller.com/nicepeople and you can sign up there. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully with better prices in your portfolio.